1 second. See a better view of the clouds. Aloha, everybody. If you're just joining me, thank you. It's a tropical storm day. I think I figured out this whole live stream thing. This is like my 6th live streaming. A couple months ago was my first live stream. It was inside the lava zone. It might have been okay. I think the portrait setting was not good. Aloha, Sarah. How's it going? Oh, I can barely see the screen. Marcus, hey, what's going on? Hey, California, awesome. I used to live in San Diego. San Diego's awesome. I used to live near Camp Pendleton. Aloha, everybody. Oh, I see Tennessee. Let's see where. Okay, all messages. I want to see all messages. Okay, there we go. Okay. Jacob from Houston, Texas. Awesome. How's the picture quality, guys? How's the sound? M. Frank from Massachusetts. What's up? Richard from Jamaica. How's it? Hey, how's it going, guys? So what's the quality of the picture and sound? This is kind of a break in the rain. Awesome, Colorado. Awesome. Lady Inky from Kentucky. Awesome. Glad you could join me on this awesome Sunday afternoon. Or actually, it's morning here. It's probably afternoon for most of you guys. Time difference. Awesome, Pahoa. Yep, Pahoa in English means dagger. Oh, Florida. We got somebody from Florida. A couple people from Florida. Carl. Weird refreshing rate. Okay. Miami, Florida. Aloha. Yeah, it's in the afternoon for most of you guys. Most of y'all are probably looking at dinner time here shortly. New York City. Jane from New York City. Yep. LA. Awesome. I like LA. I love Southern California. I know, people talk smack on Southern California and it's fake and all this stuff, but I actually really like it. I mean, the beaches aren't that exciting. I like Hawaii beaches way better than Southern California beaches, or Thailand beaches are better than Southern California. Tropical, awesome beaches. But I love Southern California. I used to do hardwood floors, so I've done all these famous people. I've done their hardwood floors. I've done like Jenny Craig. She's okay. She's kind of nice, not really. I've done Phil Mickelson's house. I didn't meet him, but Phil Mickelson, the golfer. Let's see, who else did I do that you guys might know? Oh, the Gateway guy. I forgot his name. And then, a bunch of rock stars and football stars, football players, and 80s and 90s rock stars. They all like live in San Diego. But California was awesome. I love Northern California too. Don't get me wrong. I love the redwood forest. I've lived in the redwood forest before. Awesome. So let's see what you guys are saying. Aloha from Nanavali. Yeah, Nanavali's right down the street, like about a mile or two from my subdivision, Santa Barbara. Oh yeah, a lot of people from California. Oh, Oregon. Trace from Oregon. And my place didn't really flood too much. What's really nice about where I live, I'm kind of up on a ridge, and I'm just in a like good spot. My homestead is in a spot that a lot of the lava rock is very porous, so the water won't stay. My road does get a little flooded, but nothing big. Nothing like more than ankle deep. Nothing too major. But I'm okay. Thank you guys for your concern. Oh, Ireland. Awesome. I'm part Irish. Yep. My family actually dates back. We're like, let's see, it was 1747 is when the first record of a family member of mine um, uh, traveled to America. So I was here before America or the United States was the United States. My family was. So they're from Ireland and Wales, and I'm got some British in me. Let's see, um, Welsh, Irish, Scottish. Awesome. Yep. It's been raining. Let's see, pretty much most of the day. This is actually the longest break that I've seen it, where it's not raining. And there was a little bit of thunder, but not much yesterday. Um, I thought there would be more. Yeah, and this is my guava tree right here. I've talked about this tree before, and it's coming back. It's growing back. Like about a month and a half ago, there wasn't this much new growth. And this is a hybrid guava. So it's like a common guava hybrid. It makes huge guavas. Hopefully I'll get fruit here soon. Guavas typically will fruit a couple times a year. That's why like strawberry guava is so plentiful, right? It just spreads everywhere because it fruits so much. Strawberry guave, sorry, I said strawberry guava, it's strawberry guave. Similar, yeah. Jamaica guava is from South America, and guave, strawberry guave, is from South America. I believe. I'm not a plant expert, but I believe that's where in the mid 1800s Hawaii was, getting a lot of these new plants. People were bringing a lot of new plants to Hawaii that had never been there. And strawberry guave, which is a pest right now, pretty much. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's got some uses, but not really. And it was brought here for a windscreen, and it was edible. And back in the day, you got to have something that, is edible and is a windscreen. That's like perfect, right? You would think that would be great, but then it doesn't really work so well, and it just spreads, and you basically have to like bulldoze it down. Okay, let's see what the comments are like. Let's see. Yeah, there's so many seeds. Really, you can only um, juice them is like one of the easiest way to these. You can make like guava juice smoothies. Curtistown. Yeah, that's just north of where I'm at. Northwest. Yeah, I think Fissure 8 is, not completely done. There's still lava at Fissure 8, but it's not emitting as much SO2. Once in a great while, like yesterday and the day before, you get a little whiff of volcanic gas in the air, the SO2. So I think this is, really cleansing you. If you're staying here or if you want to move back, uh, it's really the best time that I've seen it in the past 4 months, and except for the hurricane, or tropical storm. But the lava, sulfuric gases isn't as prevalent. It's not as much here. I don't have to wear my gas mask. I'm not even carrying my gas mask around. Maybe I should make a video on that. Woohoo! I don't have to carry my gas mask around. you know, you want to be safe. The plants that didn't get killed outright are coming back fairly quickly from acid damage and, acid rain damage or SO2 damage. I'm really surprised if they come back. Some are just not going to come back. It could have just been that type of plant doesn't handle acid rain very well. But I've been surprised, like, for instance, the fiddlehead fern, the hapu, they're okay now, but in, the beginning when the plants were dying, they were affected like first. So the ferns were, like damaged first, which is odd because to me, these fiddlehead ferns, these hapu, are some of the oldest plants here. I mean, they're like prehistoric, the fiddlehead fern. I mean, it's like definitely dinosaur plant. So you'd imagine that, oh, okay, well, if it was around at the time of dinosaurs as a super old plant, it could handle volcanic gases, but it really wasn't. It was kind of odd, but they're bouncing back, you know, pretty quick. So I don't think it killed them. It just damaged their fern. You know. Okay, now you might get to hear what I call a rain rush. So what this is the rain is far away, and I can hear it hitting the tin roof of the houses. Right, it's like maybe a half mile away or something. And it's a rain band. I call it a rain rush. Rain band. And it's coming in, and this will be actually pretty cool. It's moving towards me quickly, and I can hear it. Aloha. No, the acid rain is more like it makes you itch. It irritates your skin. You could die from SO2 gas. So I'm not a scientist, but I think what happens is when SO2 hits water, it turns into SO4, and that's like an acid rain. I'm not sure, but the SO2 gas can definitely kill you. The highest I've seen it is 46 parts per million, and like 26, and around there is like death. I think 5 is damage after an hour, like 5 parts per million. You can get like permanent damage after an hour, and then it'll start to like kill you after a couple hours. Don't quote me on this. I'm not a scientist. So yeah, I don't have to wear my gas mask. I said that earlier. Okay, here comes the rain rush. I'm gonna be quiet for a second and let you guys hear this. So it's rain on a tin roof. It's, you know, a rain band. The rain cloud is moved in above me. Let's see what y'all are commenting. How much area is being by Fisher 10 really didn't add any new like land. I mean, technically the fissures that erupted and just spewed lava on the land didn't add any new land except for maybe height. But if you, here, I'm gonna move the camera back so it doesn't get wet. Sorry about that. Just had to move back a little bit so that my phone didn't get wet. Okay, so back to the fisheries. So if the fissure opened up on land and just poured lava on the land, it really is only in, let's say, 100 feet of lava. But it didn't really create new land technically. I mean, it did, but then it didn't. You really consider new land when it goes off into the ocean. Okay, so we're gonna get wet here. Sorry, I had to move the phone. We're getting wet. Okay, hopefully that's good. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. Okay, the rain just came pretty hard. It was hitting the phone. So, I really consider lava going off into the ocean, creating new land. And it created a ton of land at this flow. Like I think more than most activity, or definitely a lot more than most volcanic activity in the past, 20 years. It created the most land. I'm pretty sure. Well, Cammy's right here. Yeah, in the 70s. Well, good night. Good night from Germany. What was this? Mr. Kraft. Aloha, Mr. Kraft. Hui ho. Okay, okay, so yeah, Cammy's right here. What did you say, Cammy? Are you hungry? Cammy. She's probably hungry. She wants her lunch. But it's raining, so she's like, just wants to stay on the porch. she wants to stay here. Yeah. See, my house is block and pier, so she stays under the house, and it's perfect for her because she can stay under the house, and like that's her territory, you know. And she just kind of roams around under there. She's a good cat. And I'm definitely going to get a puppy here soon. I'm going to go to the Humane Society and, you know, I'm going to go to the pound here and pick up a puppy. I just got to train the puppy to not eat chickens. So I'm going to have the puppy stay in the chicken coop, you know, and hopefully the hens will adopt him or her. I'll probably get a female dog because they're a little bit more I don't know, I like male dogs can get a little aggressive and females are a little bit more protective, I think. Yeah, Cammy, yeah, I have to get a see, that's the problem with having a homestead, right? And getting a dog. You have to have a dog that can handle all these different animals. Chickens, you know, I've got some fish, I got a cat, you know, a couple cats, and all these different animals. And dogs just really like to chase chickens, you know, and so you have to train your dog not to eat chickens. You guys can see it's coming down pretty hard. Mongoose. So this is the edge of my property that you're looking at. This is not, that tree right there is pretty much the edge of my property. Maybe a little bit over. And yeah, let's see. So yeah, you can see the rain. It's pretty strong right now. And you're looking at a Brazilian cherry tree. Right there, the big tree, and then pretty much the middle of the screen. And then off to the right is it's a curry tree. It makes a berry, like a curry berry, and it's hard to explain. It tastes like good, like sweet curry. And then the Brazilian cherry, you guys know, I mean, Brazilian cherry is awesome. It's getting a lot of rain right now, and it definitely is going to survive the acid. It didn't really get that affected. I mean, the Brazilian cherry was resilient against the SO2 and acid rain. It didn't really fruit much, but the Brazilian cherry is tough. The jungle tree. And then let's see, we got some, of course, hapu and fiddle ferns in the picture. Hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. I had to feed Cammy. She was hungry. She wanted her lunch. But you guys can see the rain. I'm going to read commenting. Somebody... Yeah, the hurricane really turned into a tropical storm. Didn't really do as much damage as it could have. At least here in Puna, we dodged a pretty big bullet. I mean, there's definitely damage and flooding and, you know, lots of chaos and stuff, but it could have been a lot worse. It was just rain, I think, is the biggest factor, which, you know, is dangerous, of course, but when you have rain and wind, that's when, you know, the power outages are, you know, island wide, and you know, the flooding is island wide. So luckily we didn't get the really strong 150-mile-an-hour winds. My power really wasn't that affected much. There was a little activity. Helco was working around the neighborhood in Leilani, but it wasn't, you know, it's not like Azell where, you know, I didn't have power for, or my neighbors and people didn't have power for, I think it was like 3 weeks. In some parts of Puna, it was like 4 weeks, no power. So luckily, I think we dodged a bullet on the Hurricane Lane tropical storm. But you know, hey, rain is damaging. I know it, but it's just kind of normal here. I remember back in the 80s in Puna, it would rain for a month straight. I mean, we're talking like epic rain where the school was closed kind of rain. So, you know, we have rain days here, and on the mainland, you all have snow days, that kind of stuff. So the rain band just kind of passed us. No, my vanilla vine is alive, but all the vanilla beans fell off. I think the acid rain and everything kind of like killed a lot of like flowers, and fruit was falling off before it was ripe. Like with my avocado, a lot of my avocados just kind of fell off, like developed halfway and then fell off. I mean, that could be because of a lot of rain. I know rain will damage your crops and your harvest, you know, especially with fruit trees and like mangoes and stuff like that, or lychee, you know, can be affected by rain. like heavy rain, of course. So I don't know if it was the acid rain or I think it was a combination. I mean, the volcano is creating acid rain, SO2 gases, and it's creating its own weather. And we, went through like a month of like no sunshine here, or like a cloud, like a month and a half of a cloud over Leilani Estates. Yeah, snow. I like snow. I visit snow. I used to live in some really snowy areas. I've lived in like Utah, the greatest snow on earth, and you know, going to work super early in the morning, like 5 in the morning, uh, with 3 feet of snow on the ground is, you know, not fun. But I like to visit snow. We have snow here on the island. It's more like ice, like ice, slush, snow kind of stuff. And our mountain is, 1,300, or I'm sorry, 13,000, 14,000 feet. So, we get to see snow at about 9,000, 10,000 feet. We can get snow, I believe. Let's see. But yeah, vanilla is an orchid. Yep. Okay, use my chart. My comments, the comments are disappearing. I don't know how. It's like the comments are like disappearing. Yeah, snow is fun for Christmas and skiing in the mountains. Red Road. Let's see, Red Road. Okay, before the storm. Just after OPE Cow, probably like less than a half mile after OPE Cow. The church down there by the coast, they closed, or they closed the road to non-residents, so you have to have a placard to get past. It's before Malama Flats. I would say it's probably a half mile before McKenzie Park. I mean, they shut that whole place down because you can sneak across the coast. There's a path that you can get into McKenzie Park along the coast. So they had to make a road closure at a place where you can't like sneak by along the coast, So they locked down pretty good. I would be filming more of the checkpoints and talking about it more, but they don't really like it. I know police officers don't necessarily like to be filmed. And think about it. If you're at work, would you like your boss filming you, like with with a camera? And technically I'm the cop's boss, and I'm filming them. So they don't really like that. And I guess people have said that maybe it could be used to help looters, but I don't think so. I don't think any of my material in my videos would be used for ill deeds. Okay, so let's see some more comments. What do we got here? No, the reason I'm live streaming is because I want to have the ability to do this, and I'm learning how to do it. My first live stream was about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and it was a portrait style, so that was horrible. And so I looked up a couple of videos on how to actually do this right. and it's good for a YouTuber to live stream once in a while. I think it helps. So I'd probably be live streaming a couple times a week, and when this hurricane or the tropical storm passes, it's already, I think on its way out. But we're gonna get a lot of rain coming up here. Once that passes, I'm probably gonna maybe get back into vlogging. It's hard to vlog in the rain, especially in the jungle. I mean, I guess I could go to the other side of the island, and there's no rain on the other side. Okay, tours in the area. Um, yeah, I don't think they're gonna allow people to just be walking all over Fisher 8. I think something's not gonna. There's gonna be a lot of people that aren't happy. Here comes the rain. I mean, I just don't see us being able to like walk up to Fisher 8 and look down it in, let's say, I don't know, 6 months, right? Even then, I think they might restrict people from that area. So I've talked about this before. Okay, so everyone in Leilani and pretty much, Lower Puna, they have craters and they have big cracks in their property, and pukas, which is a big hole, lava tree, where the lava goes around the tree and burns the tree down, but creates this, it could be, 15-foot deep hole in the ground. It really all just depends. And that's dangerous, right? And it's in the jungle. And that's, like Leilani. There's tons of craters, little craters. And my friend was worried that his little crater would explode on his property, but it never did. So you're buying that kind of property and you see them. Well, that was back in the day. You'd be like, "Oh, look at my crater on my homestead, on my property. Isn't that pretty cool?" But now I think it's going to be a little bit different. I think the planning department's probably going to make some changes. I don't think it's going to be as easy. But my opinion is I think it should become more relaxed, like at least on the building codes. Maybe not in the area of building, but at least the building codes. And I don't think people are going to want to like rebuild or invest any money. Like they're all worried about getting back into Leilani, which is completely understandable. I want to get back to my house. I want to live in my house. I want to live there, and I understand that. But are you going to really want to invest a lot of money into it? Because a house, remodel, you have a leaky sink, you want to upgrade your solar panels, maybe get a new pump. I mean, are you going to have it painted? Are you going to build the 2-car garage that the association is forcing everybody to have? I mean, are you going to invest in that? Invest heavily in your property? Because in a year or 2 years or 5 years, shoot, 5 days, the lava could come back up and just start destroying stuff. So I understand people want to go back to their homes. I completely understand. And my heart goes out to them. It sucks. And I just want people to realize, what they're, what it's like to live here. Because I haven't left. I did not leave. I bugged in for 5 days. I did not leave this disaster zone. And I've been living here the whole time. And the first days, I just stayed in. and did not leave at all. Okay, let's see. What are we at here? A cup of hot coffee and cocoa. Yeah, I just had my coffee. I'm gonna have to run into town and do some shopping. Yeah, lava will definitely return at some point. Oh, good morning from Sydney. And thank you, Gwen. Yeah, if you could give this video a thumbs up and comment, that'd be awesome. Watch this video. So in the background, you see, like I was talking about, the Brazilian cherry trees right in the middle. And then off to the right is the curry berry. And then behind that, the kind of dead looking trees is a mixture of ohia, which is a redwood, and guava, strawberry guava. So you can see some redwood trees and some strawberry guava in the background. Dead, or the ohia, the redwood, is dead, but the guava might come back. Curry berry is on the right of the screen, that like bush tree that's top right of the screen. It's like a, it can get up to probably 20 feet. It can get pretty big depending on how old it is. It's a tree that produces this berry that tastes like curry, but it's a sweet curry. It's interesting. And then there's a seed, and that's how it propagates, I believe. I'm not quite sure about the plant, but it's got small, like small leaves, and one on screen, the curry berry on screen, is fairly healthy. I mean, it survived the acid rain, and it did grow back. It wasn't looking that good a couple months ago, but it's come back now, and in the past like 3 weeks, it's growing back. Curry berry, and middle of the screen is Brazilian cherry. Oh, welcome to the jungle. You got a new sub. Let's see. Connecticut. Mr. Rebar 50 or 15. Okay, cool. Thank you for subscribing. I'm doing pretty good. Welcome to the jungle. We are having some rain, and the lava has paused though. Yeah, the curry berry is very interesting. It's a very interesting plant, the curry berry tree. Let's see. Iron worker, awesome. Machete. What was that? Yeah, a corn knife is a machete. I've got one from South Africa. I'd say it's a machete. It's like 14 inches. It's heavy duty. right? If you, let's see. Yeah, there's gonna, I mean, it's hard to say when, I mean, does the volcano ever stop? I mean, honestly, it's like, I don't think this volcano will stop in my lifetime. And Fissure 8 will probably be, I don't know, like that constant reminder. Because before the lava was just going into a place where it was already, already covered. So no one really paid much attention to lava until like 2014, 2015, and it started going to Pahoa, and then everybody kind of forgot until 2018, or I should say, a lot of people bought new houses, or bought property and building a new house here. And I was always kind of curious. I was, driving around my neighborhood constantly. There was new lots being cleared and new houses being built, and I was like, this is not good. And for the past year and a half, I swear, almost every time I drove down the house, there was a new lot. Drove around my neighborhood from my house, there was a new lot that had been cleared, and they were putting up a slab or putting up a frame for a house or something. And what that was is because Oahu is so expensive that this place was like, or still kind of is, the last place where you can buy property for cheap in Hawaii. And so a lot of people from Oahu and other, islands, they wanted to still live, in Hawaii, so they would move here. But the problem is there's not a lot of jobs here. And the reason why there's not a lot of jobs is because companies and big corporations and, Walmart and all these big, companies that create a lot of jobs, or like mining. There's no mining here except for geothermal, which nobody likes that. Typically, you know. Uh, let's see. And then there's no, like shipyards. There's no, textile plants. So there's not going to be a whole lot of jobs here. It's very country. It's very like how it was back in the day. A lot of people come here and, from Maui, for instance, and go, wow, this place is like what Maui was 15 years ago. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of how this part of the island is. It's always, 10 to 20 years behind the rest of the state. And the reason why is because the county doesn't invest money in here. I think for the past 5 years, no. I think it's been like 10 years, the past 10 years or 20 years, something like that. Only 5% of the budget has gone to Puna. So, I mean, that's like, I don't know. Puna is a big district. It's got, a large amount of land. And I believe there's only 9 districts on the Big Island, Hawaii. If we only get 5% of the budget, that's kind of like, that's not a lot of investing in this area. But there's a reason why, because the lava could just come and destroy everything. So, yeah, there's always logic to it, right? Yeah, I mean, honestly, people were buying like fifth acre properties for like, I don't know, like $5,000, and that's actually kind of expensive, because on the mainland you could buy, in the middle of nowhere, and you're not gonna have a job around you really at all. You can buy acreage for like, $50 an acre, but you have to buy, 1,000 acres of it. So in the end, it's, expensive, but then cheap or cheaper. So I was always like, wow, these people are gonna buy an acre for 20 grand. I'm like, it's and it's I guess it's just jungle, but it wasn't even that good of a jungle. Leilani had Rapidohia death, which was really killing everything. And I remember in the 80s, you could, like, during midday sun, full, no clouds in the sky, the jungle was so thick you couldn't see the floor of the jungle. You couldn't see the jungle floor. And that's what it was like here when I was a kid. There was so many ohia, and it just created this thick jungle canopy. And I just remember as a kid there was this moss and ohia everywhere. And ohia is a redwood, a type of redwood, ironwood. It's beautiful. But rapid ohia death is killing all the killed off all the ohia. So the jungle is like dying. It kind of died. Okay, so here we go. Maybe this we move there. Yeah, I mean everyone. See, I've been here for, let's say, about more than 15 years. I moved away when I was younger, and then moved back, and it's changed a lot, but it really hasn't. I mean, of course, there's been there's a lot more people, and there's cell phones, and the infrastructure has gotten, better. uh, but again, you don't want to put an infrastructure in a lava zone. So, um, yeah, you know the risks when you build here. You should. So I've been here. I watched the 80s and early 90s, the lava flows. So you understand that, as a kid, you understand that a natural disaster can come and just wipe out your place. Not just kick you out, or you have to come back and clean up, or rebuild. There's not going to be a whole lot of rebuilding on these lava flows because, first of all, the ground is unstable. It's kind of just in the middle of nowhere with lava around. So everyone kind of should have known the risk. At least you should have known. And it was cheap for me to live here. My bills were very, very cheap. I'm not going to go buy a $350,000 house in Leilani Estates or anywhere in Puna, really. I mean, why? I was surprised at people. They $1 million house in Leilani Estates? No, never. No, I don't know. But that's just a Puna kid. I grew up in Puna, talking. Yes, I think people forgot about the lava. Yeah, you should, you know, I don't want to sound like a downer, but you should learn about death pretty early on in life, and like losing everything, and understanding how important a dry bed, a hot meal, and a roof over your head, um, how valuable those things are. And I learned that fairly quickly because my family wanted to, uh, create a self-reliant living, and not have power, and and not have a lot of the stuff that, you know, my parents grew up with. So I did my homework by candlelight, that kind of living. Um, but I did go to a school. I wasn't homeschooled. I went to a public school, but I just didn't have power. You know, I grew up with no power, and running water was gravity, and then eventually we got a pump, and we were running it off batteries that we would charge in the car because solar panels were pretty much non-existent or not very affordable and effective back when I grew up. Yeah, I think one of the most expensive places to buy property, you know, one of the most expensive neighborhoods in Puna was Kapoho, Wild Pie, and the beach lots. That area was definitely the most expensive. And in my compilation video, my kind of director's cut or whatever, I just, you know, compiled some of my old footage in a video. You know, a lot of destruction. And okay, so let's see some comments. I'm gonna mix it up here. Okay, good for you. Sounds like you move the pants. Outhouse. I don't have an outhouse, but I did back in the day when I was growing up. Outhouse in the yard, and we even had a permit when they were giving permits for outhouses from you know, the 70s. And I don't know when they stopped giving permits from the outhouses. I imagine it was probably in the mid 80s or maybe 90s. But yeah, we had an outhouse, and it was over a lava tree. Yes, that's how most people would go to the bathroom, you know, or at least, you know, people that had running water and electricity would have a pipe going out to a hole in the ground. A lava tree, a puka, which means hole, you know, in the ground. So yeah. I don't watch the news. I have a TV, but I Netflix and you know, Redbox. I use Redbox. I just watch movies. I don't watch TV. I haven't had cable for over 10 years now. So you know, I'm kind of, you know, not very informed. It's kind of nice not being super informed. You get yourself all worked up watching too much news, especially nowadays with all these wacky news channels. Or actually, they're all wacky. It's just all wacky. And going through this lava disaster, I want to talk about this for a second. I really was up front and close to like a lot of journalists and, you know, these news people, and not all of them. I'm not gonna just say they're all bad people, but guess what? That's not a very good profession. I think it's like up there with like lawyers. You know, you're like people don't like lawyers. People don't like journalists. And there's a reason for it. Not all journalists. I know some are good and they bring light to important stories. Don't get me wrong. And technically, I'm kind of a journalist. But don't get me wrong. I just saw the ugly side of journalism and how pushy people can get, and it wasn't even that bad. I shouldn't even be complaining that much. It was just I could see where it could get worse. You know, if I had something super valuable for these people that have have this crazy story, they're gonna push you, and they're gonna get their story. And so I see what it's like. And I didn't want to film burning houses. I filmed. I just that was one main thing that I just through this whole lava disaster, I was like, I'm not gonna film people's houses burning down because my instincts are to help and help them move. I'm not gonna sit there and film. I did film one house burning down, and that was a bank-owned house that was vacant. So I don't know. It's just like one of those things. Maybe it was a mistake. I don't know, but I've been through this before, so I've evacuated from a house that's been covered in lava when I was younger. So I didn't really want to like film somebody's house burning down. I don't want to push that. Not to say that all journalists, again, I'm not hating on journalists. It's just that I saw the underbelly. I saw how cutthroat that business can be. It is all about timing. Okay, I want to see some comments. Let's see what's comments like. Yeah, and I'm not. It was like a choice that I made. I'm glad that people filmed these houses getting destroyed by lava, and I'm glad that people filmed that. I personally have only watched like a handful of those kind of videos, and not for very long. I saw a helicopter video of Kapoho getting burnt up. I saw, probably a minute or that. I can't watch it. I've seen it all before. It's not interesting to me. I know it's interesting to a lot of people, but to me, it's not. What's more interesting is a fissure, maybe opening up in a street in a vacant lot and flowing through a vacant forest. I don't know. That's a lot more interesting than a lava fissure opening up, destroying a neighborhood. And I couldn't imagine if this would have happened in Nanavali. Oh my goodness. There's so many more people in Nanavali, and it would have just, at least the people in Leilani, there's less. And if you don't know, Nanavali has 5th acre lots, and they do have 5 acre lots at the end. But Leilani has 1 acre lots and some 5 acre lots. So you can see that there would be a lot more people, a lot more, just a lot more. I believe there's a lot more people in Nanavali. Even though, I don't know. I mean, Leilani is a pretty big subdivision. It's like 3 miles long, or it was 3 miles long. Rhode Island. Oh yeah, I love the East Coast forests. That's what I really like. You're driving, on a highway or a freeway, and it's just forest, green forest with tall trees, and that's all you can see is the highway and the trees, right? And then all of a sudden the city will, it opens up and there's this city. That's what I like about the East Coast. I've been to, geez, a lot of states on the East Coast. Um, a lot of states. $60 acres, nice. Let's see. I've never been to Ohio. That's one state I've never been to. Scotland, that would be awesome. I'd like to see all the castles. Scotland. I've never been to Europe. That's one part of the country or part of this world that I want to see. Eventually, I will. I'll save up some money to go vacationing in Europe. I want to go Ireland and Scotland, and maybe Germany. And let's see. Yeah, I've been to Asia and South America, but never to Europe. Well, I think I might fool you with the education. I was not well educated. I think it was more of a desire to research, which lately I've gotten out of. I should get back into researching more and just like, for the past about a year or two, I haven't been learning as much as I should, except for the lava disaster, but that's something you don't want to learn. But anyway, no, I'm not well educated. I dropped out of college. I went to one of the worst schools in the nation, top 3 worst school in the nation at the time, for education and violence. It's just the worst. You would think it would be LA or like New York or something, but actually the school I went to, the town I live in, has some of the worst education it always has, and it still kind of has. I mean, Pahoa is the most violent school in the state, pretty much. It's crazy violent, and it has all grades in one. So you got first to 12th in one school, and that's how I went to school. All grades in one, country style. Living in the country, y'all. New York City. Yeah, I've been to New York City. I went to the Waxing Museum, and I went to all the tourist spots, all the typical tourist spots. But okay, so this is what I did, and I always suggest this: is if you're gonna do a tour of a place, right? Find like a Chinese tour, right, or a Japanese tour or something, and go on it. And yeah, I know you're thinking, well, why would you go on a tour meant for Japanese people? Well, they speak English, right? But it's fun because I'm an American. I don't want to go on a tour with a bunch of Americans. I want to go on tour of America with a bunch of foreigners. I don't know if that makes any sense because they're excited about it. Me, imagine just like, some white American guy and a bunch of other Americans going on a tour. That's boring. But if it's like a white American guy and like people from Thailand, people from Taiwan, people from China, people from India, that's an exciting tour, you know. And they spoke English. It was just fun. That was the last time I was in New York. I went on this tour that was meant for Japanese people. My Yeah, that's just kind of my idea. I like Japanese food. Yes, I'm not a huge fan of sushi, but I like Japanese food. In California, there's a ton of sushi restaurants, and I used to eat sushi a lot in California. Really good sushi, excellent sushi. Wow, this live stream is going longer than I thought. Cool, this is awesome hanging out with you guys. My viewers are the best. Much aloha. No, it's aloha, y'all. Does it sound like I say all y'all? No, it's aloha, y'all, which might sound like aloha, all y'all. Rick, I think it's Rick C. always comments when I say that. No, it's you all, not all you all. No, it's aloha, y'all. Aloha, y'all. No, aloha, y'all. Which gets confused for aloha, all y'all, which all y'all doesn't make any sense. Okay, where are we at? I haven't seen the sun in a while. Let's just put it that way. It's been raining so much. Yeah, Hawaii, we have like a slang. It's called pigeon, and then there's kind of like a slang that goes along with it. Like, see, there's like four languages here that's used. There's English, there's Pidgin, there's Hawaiian, and then there'll be like Japanese or Filipino, like a completely like Asian language or something. So Pidgin is a mixture of all these different did I say? I said language. I meant language. Okay. So Pidgin is a mixture of all these different languages. It's like a Japanese, British, English, and Chinese and Filipino words and Hawaiian words. And it's basically because all these languages were here that Pidgin was created. And I know the British were, instrumental in creating this type of English, like broken English or easy English, right? And so we do, Pidgin does share, or at least the slang here in Hawaii shares like southern words, like we use salty, don't be salty, or what's another, like hooey. Hooey is kind of like a southern, from Kentucky, give you a hooty hoo or a hooey, or stuff like that. What else? I don't know. We don't really use y'all. I just like to add it because I thought aloha, y'all is kind of funny. Yes, aloha means a bunch of different things. It means love, goodbye, hello. So if you want to say goodbye in Hawaiian, you say a hui ho, and that means goodbye. And aloha is good for hello because it's like hello, love, all the good things in life. And so when you meet someone, you meet up with someone, you say aloha. This is going to be good. This is love. This is the good life. What's best in life. Aloha. And so it doesn't necessarily just mean hello, or it doesn't necessarily just mean goodbye. It can just mean it's a greeting that means love. I think that's the best way to describe it. I I don't know the word for um, love. I think it. I know malama is to take care of, so you want to say malama aina, which that could mean love the earth if you want. So malama is to take care of. So when you say, but malama aina, take care of the earth, or malama pono, so take care of making things right. Pono is making things right. Let's see. Um, I don't really know much Hawaiian. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this video up right here. I'm gonna go get some lunch. It's lunchtime. I know you guys on the mainland, it's probably getting close to dinner time. But I'm gonna go grab some lunch right now. It's been awesome talking with you guys, with y'all. It's been a blast hanging out and chatting, live streaming on this rainy day in Puna, Hawaii. I just love y'all. And I want you to have a good time and have an awesome rest of your day. I'm gonna wrap it up right here. Until next time, ahui ho!